Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Watch Addiction Watch Reviews. Today we're taking a look at a brand from Germany that's been around since about 2015-2016. I've taken a look at one of their watches in the past and I was pretty impressed by the overall quality, fit, finish, build, and what you get for your actual money. This brand is called Manufaktur Waldhoff and they're from Germany. They kind of imply a lot of Swiss design and German design together, and obviously this is a very tooly dive watch, which is pretty cool. It's a 300-meter diver. Pretty substantial diver. It's very nicely constructed, I must say. And yeah, it's dubbed the SeaWolf, as you can see. A lot of interesting things going on. Looks a lot different than your average typical, kind of smaller brand watch. And that's pretty interesting. I believe the pricing on these is $789 US, direct from their website. They ship direct from their website. I will drop a link down in the description below so you can check them out after this video. Anyway, let's take a look at the packaging and we'll jump right into it. Now, the shipping itself was actually really fast and arrived in about 2 business days from, FedEx. And yeah, pretty fast shipping, so no worries there. Comes in this wood box covered by this paper here. So it also does come with a Waldhoff shopping bag, like a little bag. So you can see here, a nice little plaque, Waldhoff Germany. Inside you will get your warranty card, a nice suede, and you do get a polishing cloth as well on the inner portion. So nice wood box. I'm not one to hoard boxes, but I do keep the boxes. But yeah, it's definitely a pretty well made box. Now the SeaWolf diver itself actually pays homage to the legendary USS SeaWolf SSN-21 nuclear powered fast attack submarine. So they're kind of paying homage to that, and you'll see on the case back there's a nice image of a submarine. This submarine was actually made for speed, precision, and high performance. And kind of this watch does the same thing, I would assume. And this is actually the version which is dubbed the Black Water. There are 3 versions: a white dial called the Icefall, a blue dial called the Everfrost. The white dial actually looks really nice. I never even realized they had a white dial. But yes, there are 3 different variations in this collection. Anyway, the watch is crafted of solid 316L steel all around. It's mainly brushed, as you can see here. The watch is 205 grams on the bracelet, which is fully equipped. I would say if you have a 9-inch wrist, you should be good with this watch. Let me just say that. It definitely comes with enough links. The watch itself is 43 millimeters in terms of diameter here, which is not that bad, and it wears much smaller considering the lug-to-lug distance is actually 47 millimeters for my calipers, which is pretty nice. So it kind of wears like a 41.5, I'd say, when it's actually on the wrist. The watch itself is 13.85 millimeters thick. I got around 13.95 for my calipers. It states 13.85 on their website. That's including the sapphire crystal and the bezel and the case back as well. The watch is 300 meters water resistant. We do get a screw down crown and a screw down case back as well. The crown itself is embossed with their logo, which is pretty cool. And you do get a helium escape valve, which is quite interesting. And it actually says helium escape valve. So I thought that was a nice little touch. The dial itself is a layered dial, as you can see here. So it's a hydraulic pressure-formed metallic dial with Geneva stripes. As you can see here, those stripes going up and down gives it some nice pleasure to look at. We do get a power reserve indicator up to 40 hours. You can see right at the 12 o'clock. And if you actually see there, the Waldhoff logo is applied on a different part of the dial beneath the Geneva stripes, which is pretty cool. The markers themselves, or the indices, are all hand applied, and they're actually made of metal, as well as the hands. Nice faceted hands, highly polished, as well as the spear-tipped or arrow-tipped sweeping thin seconds hand, which does reach all the way down to the fine minute markings, which is very nice. So yeah, the dial is definitely very interesting. We do get that power reserve indicator, but it definitely stays out of the way of things, and that's one reason why they put it at the 12 o'clock position, so you can definitely keep it legible, as this is a true dive watch capable of going 300 meters. So you want to be able to read the time clear, you want to read your dive bezel clear, and this kind of stays out of the way while I have the power reserve indicator up at the 12 instead of if it was like kind of on the left or right or at the 6. We get a matching date window above the 6 o'clock marker. All these markers and hands, and even the power reserve indicator hand, do have Tritech Swiss Loom, which glows green, and it's pretty potent. I was quite surprised by the Loom. Yeah, well, this is the first dive watch I've seen by this company, so they definitely did a good job on the Loom, and we'll get a Loom Shot in towards the end of the video. Now the crystal is a sapphire crystal, anti-reflective coating. As you can see, no issues with legibility. And everything is very legible, very clear and crisp. The markers are clear and crisp as well. If I get you in a little closer, you can see the crispiness of this dial. Everything is really, really, really crisp. The markers are applied perfectly and there's no error whatsoever. It looks very, very nice. A little clear in on the logo. As you can see there, everything looks very nice. Now inside of this watch beats away the Miyota 9130. It's an automatic caliber with a power reserve indicator. You get hacking hand winding. It beats at 4 Hz, 40-hour power reserve. And actually function this movement. The crown this is probably one of the most grippable crowns I have ever seen. It's extremely grippable. That's just the way it was designed. Very easy. Nice pop out. Nice solid pop out there. As you see, this would go up to 40 if it wasn't wound, but it is fully wound, the mainspring, so we do have about 39 hours of power reserve left in there. You can see it. I don't know if it's going to go up anymore. No, it's maxed out at 40. But you do get self-winding. Don't want to overwind it. You do get a quick set date. No issues there. Nice that it matches the dial. Final position is hacking. We can set the time here. So a very nice time set. No issues here. Push that back down and screw it back in. Very, very grippable. There's different angles on the crown, as you can see here, and it's finished with 2 different finishes. It's kind of like sandblasted and highly polished. And you kind of have the logo over here, so it's pretty nice, the crown, I must say. The bezel is 120 clicks and fully loomed with the same loom that they applied on the hands and the indexes. And the bezel action is really nice. Very grippable bezel as well. The bezel itself is polished on the little top edges or the chamfered on the tops, and it's brushed on the bottom part. But yeah, the bezel action is very good, so no issues there. Very, very minimal back play. The bracelet, 20 millimeters. I'm sorry, the bracelet is 22 millimeters, solid end links, H-link style bracelet. Very nice finishing. Just kind of gleams, those H-link bracelets, which I really do like. Comes down to 20 at the bottom, 22 to 20, 22 millimeters, no issue there. The clasp itself is signed with Waldhoff, and we do get the typical diver extension. I know a lot of you guys have seen these already, but it's a pretty typical and very useful diver extension, I must say. You get it opens up to a milled clasp here. Very secure. One thing I noticed, the watch has the thickness for this clasp, as you can see here. When you have a thin dive watch, say like 11, 12 millimeters, 10 millimeters even, and you put this thick dive clasp on it, it doesn't look right. And a lot of other micro brands are doing that. But on this watch with a 14 millimeter thickness, the clasp looks right. So definitely, this one can go on this watch. I have no issue with that. It's just one thing I wanted to state. But anyway, getting a look at the case back here. Oops, let me flip this around. We do get that submarine, which this watch is homage to. Very nice 3D molded case back, screwed down. Completely brushed with polishing, and the actual submarine, it's very detailed. You can see the submarine in the night. Those are stars in the sky. I think it looks pretty cool. I always like watches that have designs on them, so why not, right? Heading straight into a loom shot. The loom is absolutely insane on this watch. I mean, it's really, really potent. I've never seen this type of loom before. Tritech Swiss. Some type of Swiss Luminova, which glows green. It's extremely potent, and I like that it's just as even on the actual rotating bezel as the hands and the indexes, which is very nice. Everything is very nicely lit, even the power reserve indicator hand, which I thought was cool. So at night, you're going to know how much power you have left in your watch as well, which is a nice little touch. If you're wondering how the watch looks on a 6.5, 6.7 inch wrist, this is how it looks. It doesn't wear that big. It has a nice, kind of hefty feel to it at 200 grams or so if you take off a few links. But it's not that big. I thought it would be much bigger from the specifications, but lug to lug it's small, so it kind of wears really compact on the wrist. As you can see, it fits perfectly across my wrist lug to lug at 46, 47 millimeters, around 46.4 I got from my calipers. But yeah, very short lug, so it wears very nice on the wrist. As you can see, it's very legible. The bracelet looks right at home on this one as well. Everything kind of looks in place. It doesn't look like it was put together in 30 seconds. Some time definitely went into this one. So furthermore, guys, I think it's a very nice looking watch. I'm not sure, I'm pretty sure this is their first dive watch. They produced a lot of more classic dressy style watches, and in the past, I would say. And this is kind of their, jump into dive watches. It's a very nicely made watch, I must say. It's really, really nice looking. I love that dial with the striping. I like the power reserve indicator. It's a multi-layered dial. It just has, just everything meshes together very clean. And it doesn't appear like to be a lot going on, but it has a lot of information. You have the time, date, and a power reserve indicator, and a 60-minute dive time bezel. So you can do a lot of stuff with this watch. 300 meters, sapphire crystal, high beat Miyota movement, a very good bracelet with diver ratchet, extension. I think it's a pretty nice watch. I like the loom as well. I forgot about that. The loom is very good. And I think for your money, I think it's a decent buy. If you're looking for a very solid diver, this thing feels tough as rocks. I mean, once you get this thing in hand, you will realize what I'm saying. It's a very tough watch, including this hefty crown here, which is very grippable, very nice. Yeah, I think one thing they could have done different is use screws on the bracelet instead of pins. Not really a big thing for me, but I know a lot of people out there be like, oh, $789 and I got I didn't get screws on my bracelet. For me, it doesn't really matter, pins or screws. For me, it doesn't make a big difference. As long as the bracelet is of good quality, and the bracelet is of definitely very good quality and is very nicely finished. The finishing on this H-Link bracelet is just as good as the finishing on the actual case. As you can see here, it matches perfectly the exact same finishing. Finishing on the case is very nice. It feels kind of like a German watch, to be quite honest. It has that kind of German DNA. I don't know, I just pick it up and I think German watch. Maybe it's just me, but it kind of has that DNA to it, and they are from Germany, so it should. But yeah, it's a decent watch for the coin. I think it's not a bad offering. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below as usual. This is Watch Addiction Watch Reviews with the new Manufaktur Waldhoff SeaWolf Automatic Diver. I will see you guys real soon. Definitely smash that like button. Let me know what you think. Subscribe to the channel. A lot of content coming real soon, guys. Take it easy. Bye.